The COVID-19 pandemic has taken so much, and the devastating impact is still coming to light.
Yeah, social service workers are predicting a tsunami of homelessness, people losing their jobs and likely one step away from losing their homes.
The Rebound Arizona team reporting on eviction protection for months, and tonight our Sonu Wasu with an exclusive inside look at one agency fighting hard to keep people off the streets and give them hope when they feel like they've lost everything.
This is Lisa. We still need a couple things from you.
Facing a disease that's impacting not just lives, but livelihoods.
We need a COVID letter from your employer. Do you have that?
Boss lady Lisa Bratcher with Save the Family is a healer of a different sort.
People come to us usually when they've exhausted all their options. They've been affected by COVID financially.
Her job is to oversee all the federal grant money received by Save the Family to prevent people from getting evicted from their apartments or rental homes.
I don't like taking help from people, but when you need it.
People like Tina Ferrari, who went from supervising a call center one day to losing her livelihood the next. Tina was laid off from her job after they downsized during the pandemic.
I had like a really nervous breakdown. I had a really bad panic attack and I had a breakdown, and I kind of was ready to just let go of everything because I had nothing left.
The sole provider for her family, Tina found herself unable to pay rent. Month after month, for 6 months, she tells us, her landlord tried to work with her, accepting what little she could put down.
When this first happened, I owed him about $8,000. It was very overwhelming. I didn't know how I was going to dig myself out of it.
We're going to do the paperwork for the contract signing.
Then Save the Family saved her from eviction. The agency that works to rehouse the homeless has now put a big focus on eviction prevention, thanks to CARES Act money allocated to them by cities.
We pay their rent. With Mesa, we're able to pay up to 6 months of rent or pay the arrears. We can also help with utilities. So we just want to make sure that at the end of the day, they're going to be able to keep their housing and they're not going to be evicted.
But the need is great. The agency is receiving hundreds of applications for help.
Like I said, we're seeing the effects of COVID more now than when it first happened. So sometimes it's disheartening to hear and see like they've used all their savings account, all their 401k to kind of keep afloat. And then they come to us and they're just like, we have nowhere else to go.
Save the Family CEO Jackie Taylor tells us, even with a so-called moratorium on evictions,
what's the reality out there?
The reality is people are still getting evicted regardless of the moratorium. So one of the keys to the moratorium is you have to prove a COVID connection to get the prevention dollars.
So if you've lost your job because of this pandemic, had your hours reduced, not by choice, or by choice because of the lack of childcare, with kids now having to go to school from home, you could qualify.
So you're going to put your name here.
Once the paperwork is in place, caseworkers like Lisa will try to convince landlords to let you stay and cut them a check to cover, basically, whatever you owe.
It's a lifesaver, honestly.
Plus late fees.
I was just like so relieved and thankful. I mean, I was in tears. I actually got to sleep for a full 24 hours.
Save the Family has run out of money to help people in Gilbert, but they still have funds to help those in Mesa.
And then if we can't, we don't just say, hey, you're denied, go away. We will give them other resources.
Sonu Wasu, ABC 15, Arizona.
Sonu, thanks. Save the Family operates in the East Valley, but every city and county has agencies dedicated to eviction prevention. If you need help, best place to start is by reaching out to your local government agency to get a list of agencies working in your area.